Hi everyone, Kristin Ciliberto here. I'm a contributor over at Film Fest Report and welcome to today's video. I'm happy to share our exclusive interview with filmmakers Nicholas Bruckman and Yoni Brook. They are the filmmakers behind the TV docuseries The Price of Milk, which will have its world premiere at the TRIBECA Film Festival. This was a very unique project. I'm so happy we got to speak with them. But before we do, let me give you all a brief synopsis of the TV doc. The untold battle behind the 90s Got Milk campaign leads an investigative romp from the dairy farm to the White House, diving into America's love-hate relationship with milk. Now that you know a little bit about the project, let's cut over to the interview so you can learn more about the price of milk. What made you want to explore milk as a topic, and what made you think it was a good idea to make this a TV series as opposed to a full feature documentary?
So thanks, Tristan. Great to see you again and do this. Yoni and I are both kids of the 90s, so we grew up with those Got Milk commercials. Our friends collected the print ads. The actual commercials themselves are incredible. Everybody knows the slogan, but if you watch
Mm-hmm.
them now, and hope people do, some of the filmmakers like Michael Bay went on to become famous filmmakers, the ones who directed the commercials. Um, and we never really thought about any of what might be going on behind the scenes, which of course the price of milk explores. And it wasn't a topic that I think we were immediately like, hey, let's make a movie about milk. That's the most interesting subject ever. Actually, it's like people kind of laugh when we tell them about it because Yoni and my projects have been about like really, heavy hitting topics about immigration and conflict. We made a movie in Kashmir together about the conflict in that region of India and Pakistan. So milk seems like a kind of vanilla subject to tackle. But we discovered making this project that it's anything but. It's actually this really simple food that we all know that actually shows so much of what's going on in American culture and politics and race and even the environment. All of these things can be looked at, really starting with the Got Milk campaign and how
Yeah.
they're funded.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows how those ads came about, and we reveal that in the series. And in 2021, we got connected with a production financier that got financing from a plant milk company to do absolutely anything in the world of milk. And we thought, well, what would be interesting to do would be to do something that's actually kind of pro milk, something that shows the perspective of farmers, shows the perspective of people trying to do the right thing. We hear so many
Mm-hmm.
bad stories about big ag and big dairy. We wanted to show both sides of that. And that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
how the project took shape when we met Brenda and Joe Cochran, the farmers who were taking on the Got Milk campaign, and also Jeff Goodby and Jeff Manning, the creators of the campaign. And that tension in that story takes you on a kind of roller coaster journey through the world of milk in America.
Right,
And
of
we
course.
originally we originally thought it would be a feature film, 90 minutes. But as we started developing it and really going down these milk wormholes, I don't know what else to call it, we
Yeah.
would we would discover, oh, there's an entire dairy Disneyland in Indiana where you can watch a cow being born every 3 minutes. Like we can't just wrap that up in 5 minutes or 8 minutes in a feature film. This is an episode. There are crazy characters involved, and those kind of stories kept coming up. And I mean, to be honest, we could do another 4 episodes if somebody would greenlight them.
Oh, I would want more of it because I was so fascinated by it because I was just telling Nicholas about it. I watched the project yesterday and my mom was visiting me and I was telling her all about this docuseries I was watching and she's like, when is it going to be available? I said, I don't know yet. It needs a distributor. So hopefully we get more episodes from it if we get green light for it.
Yeah,
But
we
my
hope that some of the like pop beer elements of the story, everybody knows milk. Everybody actually feels very strongly about milk, whether they drink dairy milk or plant milk or raw milk. It's something that people have strong feelings about. And so the show always evokes a lot of reactions when we even tell people about it. And we're hoping that it will be something that streamers will want to share with wide audiences.
Yeah, of course. So you mentioned at first when audiences first watch the TV doc, they see the Got Milk ads. Do you have a favorite Got Milk ad or at least a favorite poster that a celebrity has done?
My favorite Got Milk ad would have to be the it was a collabo between Milk and Oreo, which was a big deal at the time. And it's a film noir, kind of looks like a scene out of Citizen Kane, black and white. All these executives are sitting around this big uh, conference table, and one of them says, like, what do we call this new cookie? And they keep going from executive to executive, and nobody can come up with the name of the cookie. And then they ask one executive and they say, Jones, what do you think? And his mouth is full of milk, and so he can't speak. And so he just says, oh, and they go, genius. That's it. I think that's my favorite commercial.
Nicholas, what about you? Do you have a favorite?
There's so many to like. I think that I would have to say the one with the priest who comes and is trying to destroy his vending machine when the milk won't come out of it until he gets caught by the nuns.
Oh my gosh.
So
I haven't seen that
they're all
one.
a little edgy for their time and fun, and I think the fact that they took risks with them and made them what the series shows that was so unusual about the ads was that the reason the campaign was so powerful was because Jeff Goodby and Jeff Manning, the creators of Got Milk, had this insight that actually you shouldn't talk about the product at all.
Mm-hmm.
You should just talk about what it's like not to have it. And that came out of the focus groups that we show. And so that is like storytellers and filmmakers, I think is really fun. And I think everybody who's in marketing or thinks about messages can kind of take something away from that because it really permeated all of culture.
Well, I grew up with reading all the pop culture magazines, so I remember seeing like Mary Kate and Ashley do it, and Miley Cyrus and Rihanna. And I thought that was just really cool to see like their faces pop up and all the ads that they did for the magazines. But I had no idea that there was a whole political side to this. That, I just thought it was, all the milk things and companies just like, hired for marketing to do it. And there's like government issues involved. Like, I didn't realize you like opened Pandora's box to the world wonders of milk.
We're
So,
gonna put
what,
that we're gonna put that on the poster.
That's
oh, I
good.
would love that.
Pandora's jug.
Pandora's carton.
Yeah, Pandora's carton. I love that. So,
Yeah, I
um,
mean the fact that behind the scenes of this milk campaign, there were lawyers going all the way to the Supreme Court to
oh
stop
yeah,
that milk is crazy. And the truth is that the small farmers who tried to sue Got Milk lost. And because they lost, the Supreme Court decided that any milk messaging you see, whether it's the Got Milk campaign to the stuffed crust pizza to the Grimace shake, is the official speech of the United States government, which
that's
is
wild.
kind of wild to consider that the Grimace shake was brought to you by Uncle Sam.
That's
But
wild. So what is the most interesting thing that you both learned while making this docu TV series?
Well, I think the important thing for us was not to tell people what to drink or what
Hmm.
to eat, but instead to try to reveal the ways that food and money and power are all connected and all influence the messages we get and the decisions we make. And so we don't want to and of course we discovered so much like you did about how this system works. And so I just think it's important for folks to know that what this series shows is that these issues about how small farms are going out of business, about how later in the series we reveal that the government is stockpiles cheese, and the fast food industry is putting more cheese into things at behest of these programs. Um, you can't we This isn't something that people should feel bad about in terms of what they eat. It's about participating in educating and participating in the kind of political process and thinking about how money and power flow in America. And so that's kind of what we wanted to reveal. Because I think when a lot of people hear about this show, they say, "Oh God, I'll never have a glass of milk again after I see this." But hopefully that's not where folks leave after watching Price of Milk.
Yeah, of course. So I only have time for one last question, but I want to ask both of you, aside from working on The Price of Milk, what really excites you both about documentary filmmaking?
I'll go first.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who goes first.
Well, I guess I'll say this. It was kind of a personal answer, but sometimes I think that life is very short, and I think that it would have been great to have been also interesting to be a scientist or to be a politician or to be a taxi driver or a number of other things that, might take a lifetime of dedication for. And what I really love personally about documentary filmmaking, both watching it as an audience member, but also creating it, is the ability to walk in the shoes of somebody else, whether it's for 90 minutes watching a film or for a couple of years living with dairy farmers and telling their story. It's an opportunity to experience a lot of different aspects of life that one might not get to otherwise. And so, I think that helps build bridges between people and helps make life more rich as an experience. And I think that's why I gravitate so much to it. And of course, I'm also just really passionate about sort of saving and archiving the past. And one thing I
Yeah.
really loved about this project was the ability to preserve all of this history of advertising and of history of milk in America and bring it back to life is something that's really great about this medium.
Do I have to answer, or I thought it was really great, Nick? I don't know. I can top it.
No, if you wanted to say
I
something,
mean,
you don't have to if you don't
no,
want
I'll
to.
I'll blather something. I'll say that I think as a documentary cinema, movies or docuseries are like a fascinating form because you're asking people to sit down and watch something and you're telling them this is true, this is real,
Mhm.
this is some sliver of our reality. And I think that's that's actually a big question to ask of people in this day and age, like
Mhm.
to take something that you normally see at face value and probe deeper into it. And I think that when you ask people to do that when they're in the mode of taking in a story as opposed to like watching a reel or watching reality TV, you can really activate different parts of people's brain. And then you can ask them to then look at everything around them in their lives more critically, whether that's TV commercials or influencer campaigns or the relationships in your life. So I feel like documentary cinema and documentary series are just like a really important pathway to reach people that is still really relevant in the media landscape.
Well, that's amazing. I love both answers, and I love the work that you did on The Price of Milk. Congratulations on the docu-series. I hope people get to check it out at Tribeca and enjoy your time at the festival.
Yeah, please encourage your mom to spread the word.
Yes, I will. I will. Thank you guys so much. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Kristin.
it.
This is great.
Yes, of course. I hope you use that slogan, a Pandora box of carton. I think that's so fabulous to
That's great. Is
use.
this one going to be like in film festival report or?
Yes, this one will be part of Film Festival Report. I don't do a lot of festival coverage on my channel just yet. I'm looking to do that, but
Cool.
right now this is going to go straight over to the people over at Film Fest Report. So
That's great.
there will be an article that somehow that'll get written up like a little blurb, and then it'll be like a YouTube video. So they have more subscribers on their channel than I do.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, it will definitely get some views and
No, that's
attention.
that's
So.
cool. Yeah, no, I was saying if they put opens the Pandora's carton on milk, then we'll put it into our poster.
Okay, amazing. I'll let them know. I'm going to send them the whole video like this. That's going to wrap up our video. Please be sure to check out The Price of Milk at the 2025 Tribeca Film Festival. This also concludes today's video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and don't forget to stay up to date by visiting us at filmfestreport.com. We will see you all next time. Bye.